impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Umabot sa 215 na kongresista ang pumirma pabor sa impeachment. Dahil dito ay diretso na sa Senado ang impeachment laban sa Vice President. Matapos ma-impeach si Vice President Sara Duterte sa Kamara, may matinding pahayag ang kapatid nito na si Congressman Paulo Duterte. Aniya ang pagpapatalsik sa kanyang kapatid ay isa lang uri ng desperadong pamumulitika. Tinukoy din niya si Congresswoman Janet Garin na siyang nanguna sa pangangalap ng pirma para maisulong ang impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ito umano ay maliwanag na political persecution. Dagdag pa ng kongresista, nagkakamali ang Marcos administration kung inaakala nila na walang kapalit ang gawa-gawang impeachment. Sinabi din nito na sa huli ay hindi papabor sa administrasyon ang pang-aabuso sa kapangyarihan. Narito ang kabuoang pahayag ni Congressman Paulo Duterte sa kanyang social media. Statement of Rep. Paulo Pulong Duterte on the impeachment moves against VP Sara Duterte. I am appalled and enraged by the desperate and politically motivated efforts to railroad the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. The sinister maneuvering of certain lawmakers, led by Rep. Garin, to hastily collect signatures and push for the immediate approval and transmittal of this baseless impeachment case is a clear act of political persecution. This administration is treading on dangerous ground. If they were unfazed by the over 1 million rallying supporters of the Iglesia ni Cristo, then they are blindly marching toward an even greater storm, one that could shake the very foundation of their rule. The Filipino people will not sit idly by as this government undermines democracy and silences opposition through fabricated accusations. If the Marcos administration thinks it can push this sham impeachment without consequence, they are gravely mistaken. This is not just about VP Sara Duterte, this is about the will of the Filipino people. The growing discontent and frustration across the country will not be contained for long. Mark my words, this reckless abuse of power will not end in their favor. Samantala, pumalag naman si Congresswoman Garin sa mga naging akusasyon sa kanya ni Duterte.
Not bothered by the accusation because it's fake news, no? I am much more bothered by the way that Congressman Duterte is vetting the information that goes through their office, no? Malaking kuryente ito sa kanyang opisina at sa kanyang pagkatao.
May banat din ang nakababatang kapatid ni VP Sara na si Davao City Mayor Baste Duterte. Aniya, tila naging agresibo na ang mga sukol na hayop sa sinegundahan naman ng ilang netizens na nag-comment sa post nito. It's their way of switching our attention from the 2025 National Budget BICAM report to VP Sara Z. Duterte's impeachment. It's a hard struggle as a Filipino when Martin Romualdez is out here making a strong case that brain cells are optional in politics, making Congress like a clown college. Romualdez is out here being the triplet threat bobo, corrupt, and greedy. Like, did they hand out a free combo, bangag, meal in Congress or what? The most disgusting family in the Philippines, Marcos Romualdez. Sa gitna ng kinahaharap na impeachment, naging matipid ang mga pahayag at sagot ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Aniya, titignan muna niya ang official statement ng Kamara bago itong magkomento. Baka masobrahan o magkulang daw ito sa reactions.
Hirap mag-react kung hindi natin nababasa kung ano yung official statement nila. Baka masobrahan o magkulang yung reaction. So kailangan natin natin.
Samantala, mariing kinandiman ni Attorney Harry Roque ang naging hakbang ng mga kongresista. Aniya, isa itong malaking insulto sa mahigit 32 milyong Pilipino. We strongly condemn the impeachment of Vice President Inday Sara Duterte by the House of Representatives. Isa itong napakalaking insulto sa mahigit 32 milyong Pilipinong nagmahal at nagtiwala sa ating Vice Presidente. I thus call on all Filipinos to reclaim our land of birth from these political charlatans. Remember and reject those who have signed the sham impeachment complaint. Isa pa sa kilalang supporter ng mga Duterte ang nagbigay ng kanyang pahayag. Ayon kay Attorney Salvador Panelo, ang impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte ay matagal ng planado ng kampo ni Speaker Romualdez.
Matagal na po yan, planado na yan. Planado na yung impeachment. Bulat sa poll, ang talagang tungkulin, naging tungkulin na nila na i-filing impeachment. Kasi the inordinate desire, the uncontrollable obsession and passion to destroy the reputation, the integrity of the Vice President is so all-consuming na talagang hindi nila mapigilan. Kahit na yung taong bayan ay nagsalita na, 1.8 million sa Luneta, ilang milyon pa doon, combined sa Bacolod, Cebu, Davao, Pagadian, lahat yan. Talagang hindi na nila alintana kasi nga, from the very beginning, yun ang target nila. So, itutuloy-tuloy ho nila yan. Pero kung titingnan mo yung kanilang mga grounds, wala akong basis. Like, for instance, sabi nila, betrayal of the public trust, series of grave allegations, including conspiracy to assassinate Sus Mariosep. Ano ba yung conspiracy to assassinate? Sige ha. Sino ang ina-assassinate? Si Presidente Marcos Jr. daw. Sino raw ang mag-a-assassinate? Hindi ko nila alam kung sino. Sinasabi lang nila, sabi ni Inday Sara, meron daw siya kinausap. Sino yun? Ano ba klaseng ground yan? Tapos, sasabihin pa nila, si Inday Sara, sabi, papatayin. Pag siya'y napatay. Pag napatay na pala, di wala nang threat from the grave. Kayo naman para kayong, pero alam mo, ang maganda ho rito, doon sa, ilan 215?
215.
Ilan ba ang mga kongresista?
300 something. 300 plus.
320 siguro. 300 mga exact numbers. Kasi para malaman natin. Ibig kong sabihin, kung 300 plus, mga 315 ang hindi pumirma.
318.
Biro mo?
Overall number na.
So ilan? 103 ang hindi pumirma.
Pero yung 103, bawasan natin nung may
mga namatay.
May tatlong na drop, may isang na-appoint, tatlong namatay.
Ilan lahat yun?
So nasa, 90 plus lang yung hindi pumirma.
Sige, sabihin mo
93,
98. Mga sabihin mo 98, 99. Ibig sabihin, marami pa rin ang hindi pumirma. Meron pa ho tayong pag-asa na may matitino pa pala dyan.
Pero sabi nila, attorney, yung ibang pumirma doon, like si Zaldico, hindi siya pumirma.
Sino ang hindi pumirma?
Si Zaldico.
Bakit daw?
We're not sure kasi kung nandito ba sila or nasa abroad, yung iba like sila Erwin Tulfo, hindi rin pumirma. May iba kasi doon na naka-align sa administrasyon na hindi pumirma. Na yung baka possible na hindi available at that time, hindi rin pumirma.
Ganun pa man, meron pa rin mga, yung outside of these two people you mentioned, talagang merong hindi, parang hindi nila masikmurang pumirma.
Meron.
Inuurin din natin ang huling session ng Kamara bago ito mag-adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you all. Please take your seats. My esteemed colleagues, leaders of the majority and minority, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we bring this session to a close, I stand before you deeply honored, yet profoundly humbled, to have served as your speaker in this transformative era for our nation. The privilege of leading this distinguished assembly is not mine alone. It belongs to each of you who have upheld the spirit of democracy and the duty of public service with unwavering resolve. From the outset of the 19th Congress, we committed ourselves to a singular purpose: to be the vanguard of progress, the custodians of justice, and the architects of a future where every Filipino, regardless of station, has access to opportunity, security, and dignity. We have not wavered. We have not faltered. Together, we have rewritten what is possible. This chamber has been a crucible of ideas and actions, where principled debates gave birth to policies that strengthened our institutions, empowered our people, and fortified our economy. We have enacted reforms that resonate beyond the walls of Congress, reforms that will be felt in the homes of the ordinary Filipino, in the aspirations of the working class, in the dreams of the youth, and in the resolve of the underserved. Isinulong natin ang interes ng sambayanan, lumaban sa mga puwersa ng kadiliman, hindi umatras sa kampon ng kasamaan. Ours is a Congress that does not shy away from its responsibility to our people. We are not here to protect the powerful. We are here to serve the people, to stand for what is just, and to ensure that no one is beyond the reach of the law. We have exercised our oversight functions with boldness and resolve, exposing inefficiencies, dismantling injustices, and holding accountable those who betray the public trust. No institution is greater than the Republic. No ambition is above the Constitution. And no one, no matter how powerful, is immune from the will of the people. In these hallowed halls, we did not turn a blind eye. We did not look the other way. Instead, we face the truth, no matter how difficult, because leadership is not about privilege, it is about responsibility. Ang responsibilidad ay hindi iniiwasan. Ito ay ginagampanan. To those who believe they can manipulate power without consequence, let this House be a reminder. Kasaysayan ang huhusga sa atin. At ang kasaysayan ay walang puwang sa mga duwag. Ang Kongreso ito ay hindi magpapagamit sa alinmang interes maliban sa interes ng sambayanan. Ang tama, ipaglalaban. Ang mali, itatama. The numbers tell part of our story. 75 national laws, 112 local laws. 30 of these were LIDAC priority measures. 8 directly aligned with the vision set by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. But beyond statistics, our true legacy is measured in lives uplifted, in livelihoods secured, in futures brightened by the work we do in these halls. Consider the landmark legislative wage hike, the first in 3 decades, a long overdue intervention. It It will ease the burden of millions of workers putting food on their tables and hope in their hearts. This is what meaningful governance looks like. This is the impact we sought when we took our oath. Yet, for all that we have accomplished, our task remains unfinished. As the 19th Congress nears its conclusion, let it be clear, our commitment does not wane with time. It strengthens, it sharpens. Marami na tayong nagawa, pero hindi pa tapos ang ating misyon. Umaasa pa rin ang ating mga kababayan sa pangakong dala ng bagong Pilipinas. Ahead lies another democratic exercise, the 2025 elections, a moment when the will of the people once again takes center stage. To those who will offer themselves in service, I say this: campaign not in the pursuit of power, but in the pursuit of purpose. Engage not in division, but in discourse. Seek not victory for yourselves, but the vindication for the ideals we have fought for together. The people's voice is sovereign. Their trust is sacred. Their mandate is our marching order. My colleagues, let us not merely close a chapter. We must ensure that the story we begun continues. The legacy of the 19th Congress must not be one of fleeting triumphs, but of enduring transformation. Siguruhin natin na ang laban para sa mababang presyo ng bigas ay magpapatuloy. Tiyakin na may serbisyong medikal ang lahat ng pasyente. May sapat na sahod para bumuhay ng pamilya. We have redefined what it means to lead. We have proven what governance, when anchored in integrity and inclusivity, can be a force of national renewal. We have shown that in unity there is strength, in perseverance there is progress, and in service there is redemption. So let us persist, let us push forward, let us not forget that the Philippines is not merely a nation we govern. It is a nation we must uplift, protect, and propel into a future worthy of its people's boundless potential. With that, I extend my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. Madamo nga salamat, ayong tanan, mabuhay ang Republika ng Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang sambayanang Pilipino! Mr. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we have done our obligation, we have done our duty to the Constitution, to the Republic of the Philippines. Mr. Speaker, I move to adjourn session until Monday, June 2, 2025 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
There is a motion. The chair hears no objection. Motion is approved.